Hey everybody, welcome in this new episode of Juno Live, where we start a new series today, where we're gonna try to reborn Papyrus. So for those who don't know, Papyrus was a blogging platform that I've built like 4 years ago, something like that. So it was even before Juno. And originally that blogging platform was built with Svelte for the front end, a lot of TypeScript, a lot of web components, and for the backend it was built with Motoko and some canisters. And as I was looking for a new series for Juno, and we need some material, so I thought, yeah, we can rebuild Papyrus with a new concept and on Juno, of course. So in this first episode of the series, I was thinking at discussing a bit the new concept, having a look at what existed in Papyrus, and slowly start. Right, I would not jump into question like if we want to compress text and this kind of things at this point. I think right now we really want to have a look at the main general idea of what we're gonna build, right? And then have a look at what existed before. All right. So as in previous series, maybe we can start by doing some drawings of our architecture and what we want to achieve in this new series. So previously, like the original Papyrus was canister-based architecture. It means that as long as you remember, I had like one canister for the front end. We're gonna say blue is Papyrus, right? And we had like one canister for the back end, and each time a developer, no, not a developer, that were user, right? Each time a user made an account through signing in with two, they each got two canisters themselves. So one was for, I think, the data, like editing the post and so on, and yeah, exactly, we're gonna make everything. Yeah, so at that time, so imagine it was like 4 years ago, and that was one of the first projects I built on the IC, so I really had no idea how it worked out, and I learned what I was designing stuff. And we had like one custom asset canister that was made for each person. And also this was in Motoko, and then at some points I rewrote that stuff from Motoko to Rust. Yeah, that was a really long story. Anyway, my point is like at the end we had like lots of canister, and those were controlled by the backend but also by the users. Anyway, if we now would rebuild this with Juno, we could. I thought there was two potential concepts. The first concept is we go, all right, we want to have the same concept, maybe one canister less, maybe two canister, and we build a platform where basically each user, let's call it like that, go to papyrus.something, still find a name, and then we got the backend, and then they edit their post there and they publish there, and we basically build the platform, right? So that's the option one. But actually, after thinking of it, it's like, I'm not sure, me personally, I want to switch and build myself like a monstrous platform again, and I'm not sure neither that I want to have to administrate all that complexity that comes with this. And another thing that is really important for me is that people own their content. So I came with another idea, which is basically self-hosting, and that's what I think we should build. Well, okay, let's do it like this. So this one is the one, I think. So my idea is the following: is we build a project that is Papyrus, that is one container. Okay, and this container, so the source code, we make a repo with that, right? A repo template on GitHub. Okay, so that project repo template, that we will find a name, contains two things. One thing, it contains what users see when they read blog post. So let's call that user facing post. So basically, we have the owner and editor that owns the container, and here it's more like all the people that read the blog post, right? And on the other side, the person or the owner here gonna need to be able to administrate or to edit the blog post, because we don't just want to have like some markdown file statically in the editor. So what we're gonna do also is we're gonna add like an admin root, which contains an editor where the person can write, administrate, and so on the blog post, right? And once that person has forked the container, so basically I go to the repo, I fork it, then they can deploy that on a they're gonna deploy that on a Juno Satellite. And the cool things about that is if they do that, then they have all these administration tools, like, I don't know, like giving a name, being top up, being able to monitor the satellites, and even had analytics to get to know how many people read the post and so on. So since we all have all those tools on Juno, and we can also finish the implementation by adding, I don't know, like a buy me a coffee button where they get paid on their wallet on Juno, and so on and so on. So yeah, I don't know if it's a bit too abstract, but that's where I want to go. I hope kind of makes sense. So my idea would be really like to have like a, yeah, you can basically just clone the template, you go, you open a satellite, deploy, boom, you have your own blog post that is live, and that blog post, that blogging platform is yours and contains the front for your readers and the admin root for your editors. So that way you can edit post everywhere. And yeah, hope it makes sense. So let's have a look, if there is no question, at what we are, right? So that was the website. So back in the day, I had like an organization. So yeah, so today we discuss the concept of what we want to do, and we have a look at what existed in Papyrus, and then we start the new project, basically. Right? So it's a series where we're gonna build every PC one after the other until we have like that blogging platform for every person that works out. All right, so what did we add? Here we had the main repo, which was the editors, right? So yeah, we still have like those stuff, blah blah blah, but we're gonna start with a new concept. It was even hosted on Flick, which is funny. So if we have a look, all right, I can not start it because it's so deprecated that I even have to use a deprecated version or an old version of Node. All right, so that's what we had back in the day. So that was the editor, right? Here I was able to type stuff. I could add title and so on and so on, and various services. And for this part here, I think that instead of using the tools we have here and which I had built on my own too, we rather gonna use the same editor as I have in proposal.networks, because you know I built also that platform. So you see, like, I suggest that we use like the same style of editor with the buttons at the top, and yeah, maybe that could be really handy. And maybe I had like a markdown and HTML switch. But yeah, we're gonna replace this here, and so yeah, that's a good question. If we need an admin, maybe not. But I was just thinking, since the same application will have both the static HTML content and the editor, we might need like two routes, because otherwise, yeah. Let's see. Maybe we can manage to have both. That's a good point. Let's see when we get there. That's a good idea, Zorander. And no, I don't. It's not Quill.js. So originally here, as I said, this one here was developed by my own. It's a library I've built, which was called Stylo, and it's a web component library that I built. But it's a bit buggy, and I would need some more development to finish it. And I don't want to start another project where I fix more stuff. It's basically deprecated. So instead of that, we're gonna use the proposal networks here, and here I use tiptap.dev, which works really great. And I mean, it's like there are thousands of downloads of these tools, and it's really well. The cool things about that original library here, it was like really super lightweight, so it was really good for performance. But aside from this, TipTap is really great. Like it's like, yeah, they have like zillions of stars and a big community. And aside from this, we're gonna keep those beloved styling things. And of course here the sign-in won't work out, but regarding saving the data, I think we will use the same approach that I had here and that I have in proposal.networks. The fact is that when I edit text, the actual save is deferred to a web worker. This way the UI is never glitchy, so it's always smooth all the time. So I think we will keep that approach. And in the web worker, we will push to the Juno Satellite, basically. And I think we're gonna save the content in Markdown. Let's see. I have to I don't remember. All right, and when we will be finished, then we will need a publish. That doesn't function here because I'm not logged right in. And when we're gonna publish, I think the key part that we're gonna have is that we're gonna have to generate static pages, but because we want to have a blog that is SEO friendly. But I mean, we can manage that. And then some administration, like being able to edit the name of your blog post or deleting a blog post, this kind of stuff. And like we said before, like buy me a coffee button, which is kind of nice. Right. If it sounds good, I think we can start by creating a new SvelteKit project. I will keep SvelteKit because Papyrus was built with it and proposal.networks is built with it, Juno, and so on and so on. So it will just be easier for the iteration because I will most often have like a piece of code somewhere that I can copy. And all right. So if there is no more question, let's do that. So we're gonna start working with a work in progress name, because actually I tried to build to buy a new domain name over the weekend, and the DNS was not able to be registered, so I'm waiting for some answer of the support of the provider to get to know if we can have it. Because Papyrus is deprecated. I used to use papy.rs, but now papy.rs is registered, so we cannot get it back. All right, so hopla, and we go to SvelteKit. And I think because we still have some improvement to do in the serverless function in TypeScript on Juno, I think that we're not gonna use Rust for the serverless function, but that we're gonna use TypeScript. This way, while we are developing the project, we will have some issue which I will need to improve on the side, which is like a win for Juno. Likewise, we probably gonna need more GitHub action, so I will develop those GitHub action. So in turn Juno will also become better. All right. Why it should not be? I just want to copy stuff. All right. So let's do Papyrs work in progress. Okay. So we want TypeScript. We want prettier. We want TSLint. Yeah, probably. We probably gonna want Playwright at some point. Tailwind, if that would be a new project that should be reused by people, I would start Tailwind because it makes easier to share project. But since we are going to basically clone the existing style, which was not made with Tailwind, I will skip it. If that makes sense. Here we will use blah 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 blah. No need. Okay. I use npm. Okay, so IP and we open WebStorm, and I think I prepared the repo, and we're gonna do an initial commit. All right, so since we're gonna use Juno, we need the static adapter. All right, and what did I do? Ah, yeah. Static. I should zoom. Okay. Hoopla. Yeah, it's not my day. All right, we are live, and now that we are here. Okay, what's that? Ah, yeah. So in the git ignore, we're gonna. That's annoying. So let's go to the template of Juno, and we're gonna copy this stuff, which a bit better, right? Right. Okay. And so in vid build, we need to do a TSC, otherwise we might fail at noticing error when we build. And we need something else. No. Right. Okay, so that would be for the setup. I guess here we should be able to build now. In the SRC we need to add a layout. I'm gonna remove this one, and in the layout we need to set up the static and pre-rendering stuff. Yes, like this, and now we should be able to compile. Okay, so here we have build svelte static. Okay, Then I'm a bit opinionated on the ESLint rule, and I think it would be nice if we have the same rules for everybody as we have in Juno and in Noisy. So my colleague does a great job at building an ESLint library that you could use that gives you all the style, for example, that are applied in Noisy or in Juno. So it's kind of yeah, I like it. So what we're gonna do is I will go here and I gonna remove this, remove that, oopla, because all those are already embedded. Svelte kit, tac, 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 là, là, voilà. I think globals will also be, let's see, not sure. Well, maybe not. Okay, and we install the plugin, and let's have a look how it's configured in Juno. Oopla. Come on. Yes. So ESLint sort by name. ESLint here. Alright. We use the plugin and we take the test config, the Svelte config. Here we ignore node build, Svelte kit, package, blah blah blah, example, PNP, yarn, where we're not gonna have this, we're not gonna have that, coverage, we're not gonna have this. Alright, let's go. And ow, what? Ah, I need to fix that. Okay, so now be able to lint alright, so we need also this file here. That's explained in the README. Alright, and here what we're gonna have, yeah, it's because all those files are not yet. Okay, I will resolve that offline, but I mean we are on the right path. So core setup ESLint, and one plugin that I like too, that I want to add, is the Prettier plugin organize import. I think it's pretty cool to always have like the imports in the same order. This way, when you do a pull request, it's easier to just compare what's new and not new and this kind of things. So yeah, just adding it. So Prettier RC. Do I have a Prettier RC here? Yes, and we add the organize import. By the way, I also use in Juno, if you use Rust, there is a Prettier plugin toml that organizes Rust. That's also pretty cool. Alright, so then we are good. Organize import. And maybe we want to have Juno running. That would be nice, no? So I can just, so here I have the front end, right? And here I can just do Juno dev start, I think. Is that? Oh, fuck me, sorry. Let's remove that package lot, and yeah, I temporarily downgraded my node to launch the old project, but we should use node LTS, not like something that comes from the past. So using node LTS. Alright, so I was saying here we have the front end, and here we will start the local developer environment. We need to start Docker. Alright. So we want the full experience, yes, with the console and everything, and we want a configuration file, and output folder is build. Nice. Alright. And yes, we want IntelliSense, so I installed those. Okay, so right now it will just mount and we won't see anything, but at least now we have the configuration that is here, and Juno is set up, so we know that we are fine. If we want to start saving document and this kind of things, yes, you see, and we have the ledger and CMC and so on, so we are good. And technically here I should be able to open Juno console deployed locally, yes, and we can create an identity. Super. And since we are here, we also gonna create local satellites for our Juno, for our Papyrus. Super. And we're gonna configure this directly in our config as the development satellites ID. This way we are already set with everything Juno. So core setup Juno. Alright. Okay. So we have a setup. Now we need the layout. Yeah, that's a good start. So I think what was a bit weird in this project is that I think I had like some library somewhere. Let me check that. It was really like super abstracted with zillions of library and I don't know what, and we don't want that complexity. So yeah, we have a really little UI component here. I guess it's because the theme where was the theme? So all those stuff that we're not gonna need. Yeah, there was like a Papyrus UI library. So here I guess I had a UI library kit, and in that UI library kit, yeah, we had all the icons. I don't know why. Yeah, we had like the component, and I guess we had the styles, right? And that was done this way because if we go back to the drawing board, since every user has a own asset web canister. This one was providing the blog post, and this one was providing the editor, and both. But here you should think that I don't know how many people there was at the end, like 1,000 canister or something. I don't know. So you should think that there was many of them and the front end, and all of those needed like the same style. So instead of having like code duplicated everywhere, I had made that UL library that was here and here. And in our case here, I kind of feel like it's easier to have everything within the same repo, because let's say a user fork that project, then they will see, there is that new version, and they just get all the new stuff. So maybe it's not too bad, and it's also maybe easier to, if someone wants to tweak the style or tweak the behavior, it's easier to have the source. So yeah, maybe let's put everything in it. All right. Okay, so we need SAS. Okay. And what do we have? We have the buttons, the cards, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Lots of styles. So what we're gonna do is I take this one, and where do I put that generally? Do I put it under component or at the root? I put it at the root. Okay. So we go to our new repo, and in library I had the styles. Yeah, we might have some warning and stuff that I will need to fix, but yeah, it's a good start. And so we had the styles, and I guess in the repo here we had global that was imported somewhere. Yes. You see here we had the style that was imported. And mixing main. Ah yeah, alright. So now what we need is to do the same things in the okay. So we take that and we put it where do I put it? In layout? Yes. So here we have the layout file. And in the script good question. How does it work? Props. Children snippet. Yeah, because we will need to upgrade. Don't tell me that it doesn't use file 5. Yeah, we need to right. So it's funny the number of things that you have to configure when you start a project. So you see, we already have the background, which is a good sign, and we also have the font now. So I guess that, do I have a font? Yes, I use JetBrains Mono, and I guess it works because I have JetBrains Mono installed on my machine. And oh, look at that! I had like a CDN. Oh, it's funny, all those stuff. So we want to self-host the phone too. So what we're gonna do is we gonna go to static fonts. Here we add fonts, and what do we have? Mono, regular, yeah, it's the same. So JetBrains, Latin, Italic, same stuff. So here I should have also font faces, and we can just update it like that, and we should be still good. Okay, so that's good. Good. We have our things. So those warnings, I will need to convert them. It's because SAS. Oh, let's convert that right away if I can. Okay, so set up layout and style, or no, just style and fonts. And let's have a look at this deprecation here. I think they have blah 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 blah. No, all right. I will fix that offline. We can live with it. We don't have to spend too much time searching for that right now. All right, and we want the layout. So I guess here in Papyrus, so we add a slot, those that we're gonna need but later. And if I look at the main page, it had a toolbar and the editor and the modals, and the toolbar was implemented here with the cloud, blah blah blah, and we need the auth user. Okay, so yeah, we can set up the authentication. I guess that's not too bad. So let's go in the create Juno, and I guess here I have the authentication. All right, okay. So we install Juno Core. And yeah, and then I think it's good to have this one, this user store with the user option. Okay, so that's the user that kicks when you sign in Juno. So here we had some types. But you know what? I want to use Zod. This way we have a strong types since the beginning. I guess it's important. Yeah, because we're gonna have to write some backend, and in the backend I will use Zod. So let's go. How do you create a type from a type? How does it work? Annie? No, what's it called? Anyone know? Oh. With a TypeScript interface, I should use. No, I want to. I don't want to redeclare the object. Alright, I'm gonna have to do that. Alright, I will add that to the to-do list. And yeah, so let's continue. Then we need a store. Yes, we're gonna use a store. So in here we create stores, and in the stores we add these stores that will contain the user, and undefined, not loaded, null, and so on and so on. Okay. And should we add the login on the main page? Yeah, to get started we can do that. We can move everything on the admin routes later, I guess. So let's do that. So right. And all right, we just need this, but we also want to register the callback. I guess that's why here we do. Yeah, I could have just start with that template, but yeah, anyway. I see. So what I'm currently thinking is, do I want to have like a wrapper that takes care of the subscription, or do I want a readable store that automatically takes care of this? And maybe I just want a readable store, because, or do we have some contents that will need a guard? Actually, yes, we will have. On the admin page, we will need this. So yeah, we can do that. So here we're gonna go back to the project, and we rename this one auth, and we add like a new component, and we're gonna call it guard because I like that. Right, and this one, login, logout we'll do later. I'm a bit surprised that, yeah, all right. And oh, okay, we can add like also a derived folder where we will add the same ND features here that takes the store and derive if it is signing in or signing out, because I guess we'll need that. So we have this, so children, unsubscribe, auto sign out, we'll implement that. To do implement a toast to display when signed out automatically. We need to implement this, and here we're gonna have the login, and if we take the login, yeah, it's all right. So at least it's not much work. So okay, and here we do one click login. So we're gonna need internationalization, because I guess not everybody gonna speak. And here all right, almost there. So here we have import. Right, so we have this, and why does it? That's good. That's good. So what we need to do is we cannot sign in because I did not initialize Juno yet, and we can do that by doing an init satellite, which should be somewhere. Yes. And we're just gonna put that in the layout. So at the top, yes, at the top, and did it need something else? I don't think so. Right. Oh, interesting. Satellite is not configured. Juno cannot be initialized. I'm in npm run dev, and yes. We need the Vite plugin, otherwise the configuration is not injected automatically. So we need this. It's all the stuff that you get in the template. It's kind of funny. So I just gonna take this, and in the config, what are that? Alright, that's for test. So let's not copy everything, but let's copy this. The worker part, we will also need it like that. And this one. and we say we don't need TypeScript, Tailwind, right? Yeah, that's normal. All right. All right, so we're gonna call it a day. For today, we are able to sign in, huh? And we have set up the project. So I guess next Sunday what I will do is I will finish the sign in, because we still need to, or we can do it quickly. Yeah, I could do it quickly. One thing that is missing is the fact that, is it here? Subscription? No, it's here, the session expiration. I think it's important that you get notified when the session is expired. So we can set that by, we had a post install to the library or to the project, and that post install, when run, it copies a script that is pre-compiled here automatically. So here we're gonna ignore what's in static/workers. Okay, and good. And one thing that we still need is that we need to add that, so that we have the event. This way, when we have a look at the code here somewhere, we have the event that kicks, and when it kicks, we can implement that stuff. All right, so let's call it a day for today. And what we have done is we have defined our concept. So we want to build like one repo project that can be forked, configured, and launched as your own blog post or own blog, both showcasing your blog but also providing you an editor to edit your blog post. And this can be then hosted and launched on Juno within a satellite, because then you get all those administration tools that already exist, like monitoring, analytics, and so on, which gonna work well, and we don't have to rewrite the administration. And then we started developing the Svelte app. We have set up ESLint, Juno, blah blah blah. We have the login button. We'll try to finish the CSS part and the login. This way, next week we can start working on the layout, I guess, and start layout, or let's see if I got time, and then the next part will be starting working on the editor. Cool. Yeah, if you have idea or if you have better suggestion, ping me anytime, and enjoy your day. Bye bye.